I've numbered the pages on my own, but I haven't.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm calling this meeting to order at 1:03 p.m. Ms. Rogers, would you like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Roll call, please.
Ogala. Berkowitz.
Here.
Brooks.
Here.
Bullock.
Present.
Butler.
Here.
Hickey. Here. Ortiz.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Next on the agenda, the approval of minutes. Can I please have a motion to approve the special meeting minutes for September 25, 2025? Motion by Brooks. Can I have a second? Second Bullock. Roll call, please.
Berkowitz.
Yes.
Brooks.
Yeah.
Bullock.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Hickey.
Yes.
Ortiz.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. We also have meeting minutes to approve for October 7th, 2025. Can I get a motion, please?
Bullock.
Motion by Bullock,
Second by Hickey.
second Hickey. Previous Brooks,
Second.
second Butler. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have public comment. Is there anyone here wishing to speak from the public? Going once, twice, public comment. Anyone here to speak for public comment? Seeing none. Moving on to miscellaneous legislative reports. Check that out when you have a chance. Old business, we have federal legislative update. Smith Garson.
Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. Thanks so much for having me. My name is John Baer. I'm a senior associate with Smith Garson. My colleagues, Chris and Brett, are not able to join today, so I'll be filling in for them. So just to get right into things, we are now on day 35 of the shutdown. As of 9 p.m. tonight, it'll be the longest in history. That being said, there is some significant movement happening on the Hill right now, specifically in the Senate, as regards to a deal out of it. So they're currently formalizing or working internally on a bill that would have three legs. So first, it would guarantee a vote on the Obamacare subsidies by the end of the year. The second would be a short-term funding bill that would extend it for a period of time. They're still working on whether that will be before Christmas. I know Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins want it before the end of the year. Others want it in January. So there's still a lot of details being worked on. And then the third leg, which is a smaller package of deals on military construction and agriculture. So that's currently in the works right now. There's a lot of moving parts as we speak. But the Majority Leader, John Thune, has indicated that, they see an off ramp. There's a good chance that they're going to see that through. The House passed a short-term funding deal or bill last month that would have extended it until November 21st. So they're looking on into passing it past then, at least into December. Other than that, the president has indicated that he's not going to start his end of negotiations until the government is open. So once the short-term deal is passed, then you'll see the White House start to become involved formally as well. As far as the government agencies, so you likely heard that a district court ruled that the Trump administration has to pay the SNAP benefits to recipients while the shutdown is going on. So the White House has indicated that they are using a contingency set of money, sort of an emergency fund to pay for it. They've said that they are able to pay for half of it, depending state by state on how quickly that's going to be available to recipients. I will add as well that just before noon today, the president posted on Truth Social that he does not want to pay the SNAP benefits until the government is open. So, that's the best information we have right now as far as what the White House thinks. That could change. Just earlier this week they were indicating that they were going to use the contingency fund, but we'll keep everyone updated as that changes. TSA, they are concerned that TSA agents won't be paid during the busy Thanksgiving season. Secretary Duffy has said that he would have to close parts of the sky as needed to ensure that safety is maintained. There's also talks on the Hill about potentially passing a smaller deal that would fund TSA agents through this busy season. A lot of things that are up in the air right now. I see my colleague Brett is on, and I'm sure he's happy to fill in anything that I missed.
Yeah, thanks, John, and good afternoon to everyone in Will County. I think John covered really what is the focus right now in Washington, and that is opening the government and all the conversations around that. We're hopeful that once that happens, and there's talk of maybe as early as this week, but that still seems quite aggressive considering how far the two sides are from each other. But once that happens, there will be year-end items, many of which, were impacted by this shutdown. So, you might see delays in the surface transportation work, which we actually got news of this morning when House Transportation Infrastructure Chairman Sam Graves said because of the shutdown, they're going to have to move the expected timeline to the spring. You're probably going to see that with the Water Resource Development Act legislation. You'll probably see that with the Farm Bill. A lot of things will be impacted, and a lot of that is the result of one, not all members of Congress have been in town. Not all staff are working at all times. But another aspect that a lot of people are unaware of is that staff and committees on the Hill rely on a lot of people at federal agencies for technical expertise when they're drafting legislation and understanding the impacts. And some of those people are likely furloughed and cannot be responsive. So that's really the focus in Washington. I know that today is election day all over the United States on many different issues. And so there's a lot of folks that'll be watching the results and returns from those as well. Thanks.
Thank you for that report. Does anyone have questions for the lobbyists? All right, seeing none. Well, thank you all so much. We'll be in contact.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Take care, everyone. Have a nice day.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to the agenda, state legislative update by Max Strategies.
So I have spoken with Matt. They are running a little bit behind.
Okay.
He's asked if we could just move ahead in the agenda.
Perfect.
Talked to the state's attorney, they confirmed. So he will be on and we'll get them as soon as he can.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much. Moving on to the agenda, federal legislative agenda. There's only one department that we did not hear from on this, which was Land Use Department. If you all would come up, please. Speak about the federal legislative agenda proposals that you all put forward. So I have written an overview, but I don't know if you want me to talk about it or if you would like to take the lead on that.
Rose, David with the Land Use Department, and they have Dave Hartke from Resource Recovery and Energy Division, and Martha from Community Development. And so just wanted to intros, and they're here to answer questions for those two particular sections of the draft changes that we make.
All right, thank you so much. So Land Use had put forward a federal legislative proposal, languages from updated Resource Recovery, Energy, and the Community Development Departments. The proposals pretty much focus on, for the Resource Recovery and Energy Division, focus on advancing Will County's sustainability and renewable energy priorities at the federal level. Specifically, it supports federal policies that strengthen the renewable natural gas, the RNG market, ensuring that counties like ours, which invest in landfill gas recovery and biogas infrastructure, continue to benefit from stable pricing and regulatory consistency. It also aligns with the Inflation Reduction Act's Clean Energy Program, which could open up new funding opportunities for landfill modernization, methane capture, and renewable fuel production. So my recommendation is that we adopt this, the Resource Recovery and Energy Division's proposal language in full as part of our federal legislative agenda. By adopting this language in full, we're signaling to our federal partners that Will County is committed to long-term science-based energy recovery and circular economy solutions. So I would take any questions right now if you all have for the Land Use Department regarding this proposal.
Yeah, that's my question. I'm looking at page 15.
So I'm not sure where it is on the pages, but if you go on the agenda, it's attached to the agenda, item number 3, land use recovery, resource recovery energy. I'm not sure where it is in this. I haven't. Page.
It's right after page. You can have it in the packet.
Okay. Page 1, right at where the red stuff is. All right. Any questions for Land Use Department? I'll give you guys a second to find the page. All right. If there's no questions, then again, I would recommend that we adopt this language in full. Are we all ready to take like a hand? We're talking about, yeah, it says at the very top, it says Will County Land Use Federal Legislative Agenda Resource Recovery and Energy Division. There's like 1, 2, 3 supports and 1 opposes. And then there's more. Yeah.
I do have a question about the section addressing eviction, and you may not know this. There
Is-
was that
don't think-
incident in Chicago where
that-
an elected official had a squatter. And so
Is that a part of this?
it's on
Section?
here, it's on page
I
1
think
of
that's
3.
the next, I think that's the next section, Julie. That's the next item we're gonna
You're in
discuss.
Land use, right?
Yeah, but we're in federal.
Oh, next
Resource-
paragraph.
Yeah,
Okay,
resource
hold that
recovery.
thought.
Okay.
Thank you.
Are there any questions regarding this section specifically? All right, then, for those who are in favor of adopting the language in full, raise your hand. All right, any opposed? You're opposed? All right, just for fun? Okay. All right, that's, I'm not sure how many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? No, 6 would be in support, 1 opposed, right? You're opposed?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I'm trying. Okay. All right, thank you so much. Moving on, still on Land Use Department. Where's my notes? All right, the Community Development. So the Community Development Division federal priorities are centered on sustaining and expanding funding for core HUD programs, including CDBG and HOME, which directly support affordable housing infrastructure and neighborhood revitalization throughout Will County. Their recommendations emphasize flexibility in federal program administration, predictable funding, and expanding eligibility for suburban and semi-rural counties like ours. These programs are essential tools for addressing housing needs, supporting local projects, and leveraging private and nonprofit partners that strengthen our communities. So once again, I recommend that we adopt this language in full by the Community Development Division as it's presented. And if anyone has questions right now and this part, we would entertain those questions. I saw their light on, but Julie,
Oh, I'm
did you have-
sorry.
Okay, go ahead, Judy.
I just have a question. I don't even know if you have the answer today, and that's fine. If we could get the number of people that we help under these different programs that we have, 6, 4, 10, whatever the numbers are, and then also a map of where they are, that would be helpful for me.
I was just gonna say, I know I had a meeting with Martha, and she had a very wonderful presentation when we sat down, myself and Vince, about the money that we had for the housing stabilization that they give from cannabis dollars. She had a bunch of numbers, and it was really insightful. So I'm sure she could probably put something together, no problem, right? Go ahead, Martha. Did you want to comment?
There are some data that's provided after the red section. It's more of the background information, but that is where we identified within this last year projects that have
Okay, I see it now.
been funded and we've served. So we do a lot of affordable housing or housing stabilization type of work in addition to public infrastructure improvements, which include water and sewer. So anything that was active within this year, we did try to provide some of the beneficiaries in there.
I saw that now. Sorry, I didn't see it before.
Is there anything else that you wanted, like more than that?
Good.
Okay, good. I'm not sure who had the light because you guys are sharing one. so-
Yeah, I think it was me.
Okay.
Yeah, I would love to see those numbers as well. How many people and in what areas of the county that they were placed in. The reason why is because I've had probably almost 6 or so individuals that needed help and just could never find any help anywhere, even calling Will County Center for Community Concerns, calling us. I mean, everybody just said, we don't have anything. So I'd love to see how many people this money did help and then where they're located at in the county. And I think it would be really good to be able to understand that. Thank you.
Program that you're looking for? Is it the like housing stabilization dollars, or because these dollars go to fund lots of different
I'd
programs?
say
So is there some?
probably any program we have where we are, helping, whether it be with housing. Okay, so there's housing and then what is,
There's infrastructure projects, there's community service types of projects, homelessness.
well, infrastructure wouldn't be for people, right? That would be for,
I mean, it serves, infrastructure serves people in the fact
no,
that they
no, I'm
get
talking about
water.
where we're actually providing funds to individuals.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Can I just make? Yeah. So having been the prior chairman of the county board, I sat in on CDBG. And if you attend that meeting, Martha has so much information. They go over all the different projects that have been submitted for the funding to receive funding. And then the group votes and says, we whittle it down, we come to this or that. Maybe we could just make that when that meeting is happening, if staff could send an email out to attend that meeting, because you can attend, obviously. It's very informational and Martha's an expert on all this stuff, I can say, from everything. I was just looking for numbers and I apologize. I didn't see those, so appreciate that. You pointed that out for me. Oh, wait, just leave it on once you're on, yeah.
We will also be completing our reporting for the end of the year for our funder, which is HUD. So I could share that as well. That's due to our funder in December. So that's a document that'll summarize the general activities that happen within the year.
Okay, yeah, that would be good. Then everyone can be, because not everyone attends that meeting and that particular meeting is very informational, so. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Are there any other comments, questions before we vote?
Follow up what Judy said. I'm not supposed to say your name, J.O. Follow up what J.O. said. In that report, have they, and I used to be a speaker board, I sat on that too. Have they ever made any reporting to the Will County Board as a whole? because I agree with you. A lot of good information comes out of that we may not know about. But have you all ever, never?
think so. No, not in my recollection. No.
Yeah, that'd be good to do once in a while.
It was,
It's very informational.
it is,
Yeah,
it is, it is.
and you can see what communities where they've had
Yep.
issues. And they
They're early.
sometimes those projects are on the books for a very long time, so.
Now, what are the, I know they're early in the morning, when are those meetings held?
Our advisory board meets 2 to 3 times a year. We typically start the meetings in February because that's typically when we get our allocation amounts from the federal government. So that allows us to put out a notice of funding availability. That happens in March. Applications are typically due in April. We have our next advisory board meeting in May where we present who applied for what. And then we do staff recommendations at a June meeting. And then we go to the board with an action plan that gets approved at the county board level. In August, we submit that to HUD for approval, and then we get grant agreements with HUD, and then we distribute those dollars to our subrecipients beginning October 1st.
Okay. Good information.
Yeah.
And it's early in the morning, right?
Yes. Well, we varied, but I think the last year, the consensus was 1 o'clock. So.
All right, any more questions before we take a vote on this item? All right, once again, my recommendation is that we adopt this language in full. So if you are in favor of that, raise your hand. Any opposed? All right, unanimous support. Thank you so much. Stay right there. We're on to you for state agenda next. All right, so that was all that we had left. That doesn't mean that this federal agenda is finalized. We have to go back through it for a final vote. But that is as far as we're going to go into it today. Moving on to the state legislative agenda. We'll start with land use since they're already here. So land use has put forward a very comprehensive proposal. The items together are 3 key areas of our county's work. They're community development, resource recovery and energy, and development services. It's into one comprehensive package. Collectively, this proposal focuses on advancing Will County's leadership in housing, sustainability, and long-term infrastructure planning at the state level. On the housing and community development side, it supports restoring critical funding for the Home Illinois Initiative, preserving the Illinois Affordable Housing Tax Credit, and protecting water affordability and stormwater management programs that are essential for our growing communities. On the energy and sustainability front, it calls for creation of a statewide low-carbon fuel standard, which would directly benefit our renewable natural gas, our RNG facility, and our Prairie View landfill, helping us capture and repurpose emissions, strengthen the renewable fuel market, and generate new local revenue. And it also supports statewide efforts to expand recycling programs for products like carpets and mattresses, and to increase food scrap composting and organic waste diversion, all of which align with our county's zero waste and sustainability goals. Finally, the proposal supports a regional water resource planning initiative through the Illinois Department of Natural Resources, ensuring that as a region, as our region continues to grow, we're planning responsibly for long-term sustainable access to clean water. Overall, I think this is a very thoughtful, forward-looking package that strengthens our partnerships with the state and supports local priorities across housing, sustainability, and infrastructure. So I once again recommend that we adopt this language in full. And if anyone has any questions, I would open it up for discussion at this time. And I don't know if I captured that in all of its entirety. If you guys want to add anything. All right, perfect. Dan, could you put your mic on? Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just have a problem with the low carbon. What is that? What do you mean low carbon? Like, well, how is that damaging our atmosphere? Carbon?
I'm going to let the experts answer that. Mr. Hartke.
That's LCFS, or low carbon fuel standard. essentially promotes the use of renewable natural gas from like the RNG plant. It's similar to the federal renewable fuel standard, except it's a state level program. That would also help give us possible other options for revenue generation for the sales of gas from the plant. And that's why any way we can possibly enhance our revenue from the RNG plant, we would support that. So,
Like the burning of methane doesn't produce carbon, is that it?
well, it's what we want to do is with the gas collection system at the landfill, since the RNG plant is there, it has to be a very tight collection system. So there's very low tolerances for escaping gas at the landfill. So anything like this, as well as the federal programs, is going to cause us to be more motivated to collect the gas as much as possible and prevent the release of greenhouse gases at the landfill. So then we collect all of that and process it into natural gas, which then is used by transportation or vehicles as any fuel when it's burned off. There are some emissions given off, some CO2 that's given off, but it's better to use that methane in there as a fuel instead of just burning it off into the atmosphere. So essentially, I'm not sure if I completely answered your question, but
Yeah, I get where that is. I just didn't understand the way you read because it focused on low carbon. And but
Sure.
we're talking about taking gas that's going to be emitted into the atmosphere or actually using it in some kind of way that we can benefit from it before it goes up there. That I'm good with. It just, the carbon part of it is, I don't really feel that's a danger.
I realize that might be a trigger word, but it's similar. It's really similar to what the federal program does
I
and how we
gotcha.
sell our gas that way.
So
Thank
my
you.
question is then, we aren't doing everything we can yet with the RNG plant. Is that what you're saying by this?
I would say we're doing everything we can there. This is more on the product sales side,
Okay.
which could help increase gas price, the natural gas RIN prices, especially is where we want a little more competition. There is always good and helps our revenue that we receive there.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. Yeah, so we're creating a better market.
Yes,
So we get
correct.
more revenue. I have a question about a different topic and some other states have a program, and this is about recycling. They have programs where you can go to typically a grocery store and return aluminum and glass. Every bottle or can you bring back, you get like a dime. But what it's done in those states is people don't litter. People save their recyclables and they bring them in, and you literally never see that garbage anywhere. Now we live in Illinois with massive festivals, and I look at all the recycling dumped in these garbage cans and it kills me. That type of a program, is that driven through the private sector, or is that something we could encourage here in our county or in the state? Because I think I love the fact if we could help divert some of this from the landfill, into a recycling program.
There are states like Michigan has that, California has that. It does increase the amount of mainly bottles or containers. It's really more of a bottle deposit that's paid. There's some debate back and forth how helpful those really are. I know in California, they've had some fraud issues where people from other states bring in containers to and get paid out on that. So it is something that can be tricky and has some implementation costs on the state side that could be significant. So I would need to get back with you on that really to have a good answer. There has been some in the state that have promoted that and others fought hard from it, even those that are supportive of recycling because of some of the costs and other problems that come along with it.
So I know that 10 cents deposit, like they charge the consumer. They charge the consumer and then when they bring the bottle back, they get that 10 cents back. So there doesn't appear to be any profit for the government or the retailer. That's what you're saying, correct?
So that money goes to the person bringing the container back to encourage them to do so.
But
Yeah.
then who has that product? At the end of the day, somebody's got all that glass and all that aluminum.
Right.
So whose
Goes-
product is
That
that?
would go to the companies that actually take it and then recycle it. Yeah.
Okay, okay. But it has a very positive impact. So I don't know if that's something, but it's something maybe if it would benefit us or we could help to increase our sustainability, I think that'd be great. So maybe we can talk about it later. Thank you.
Thank you. Member Bullock?
I just want to say that I love getting ideas for this from your perspective because I read the carpet and mattress and went, yeah, duh. That's why aren't we all doing that? So thank you for taking the time to look through what we give you and respond thoughtfully because you come up with things that, yeah, like, the stuff that you hit yourself side of the head going, yeah, why? Why not? So thank you.
Thank you. Member Hickey?
Yeah, I'd just like to ask that we keep the questions to I think these ideas are great, but I think the time has passed for those to be included. So I'd
Yeah.
really like to keep it to what's before us if we can, please.
Noted.
The time isn't past. We're talking about it now, so.
And also for the newer board members regarding the carpet mattress legislation, the challenge we've had in the past is the fact that those industries have very strong lobbyists. And this has been a continuous ask on our agenda in the past. And the issue has been the fact that the industry, their lobbyists, we've not been able to create this type of legislation. So we can continue to ask, which I think we need to do, but that's our biggest hurdle.
Thank you for that perspective. Member Bullock, you had a follow-up?
So is this in our current state legislative platform?
No, it is not.
It's not?
No.
Okay, good. So let's leave it in there.
We are going to adopt it for next year. Hopefully, maybe.
Hi, I wanted to do my best not to interrupt the flow. We do have Mr. Murphy on now.
Okay.
So if we want to take a moment and speak with him prior to going any further with this, just because we are about an hour and 30 behind for him.
All right. I think that was the end of the discussion. So if we want to just get this over with so land use can, okay, that'd be great. So again, I recommend that we adopt this language in full. All those in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? All right, unanimous support. Thank you all so much. Really appreciate it. Yes, Health Department, I was gonna have you guys come up next, but it seems we have to listen to the lobbyists really quickly. Did you have? Five minutes. All right, Max Strategies, can you hear us?
Sure can.
All right, we're ready for you.
Sounds good. Thanks very much. First, I just wanted to let everybody know my colleague Ann Schaefer's not on the call today because she had a baby on Sunday. Everybody's
Oh my
doing well.
gosh, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, no, it's she had a baby girl. Everybody's doing well, and so that's
Is it a boy or
occupy
a
her
girl? A
time.
baby girl.
I didn't hear
Baby
that,
girl,
sorry.
yeah.
Matt, before you go any further, if I could just have you just so you know, we're kind of running a little bit on time. So if you could make this
Yeah.
report as concise as possible, that would be great.
I am happy to do that.
Thank you.
So we just finished the 2-week fall veto session last Thursday. The House finished Friday morning at about 2:15 in the morning. The Senate finished at about 4:15 in the morning. Of particular note, the larger energy bill that had been being discussed all spring and over the summer was passed by both chambers. It had essentially much of the language that we had previously provided regarding siting and permitting restrictions from the county perspective. Again, the legislation essentially tightened even further or limited even further counties' ability to regulate solar farms and solar projects. So that has passed. The governor is expected to sign it. The other major bill that came together that was somewhat of a surprise, actually, was the mass transit reform and funding legislation. And if you recall, in the spring, there was a bill that passed the Senate to do this, and that bill included a delivery fee of $1.50 per delivery. It had a real estate transfer tax and a couple of other provisions to generate the 1.5 billion needed for the transit system. That bill never went anywhere in the House. The House had come up with their own proposal to do something different, and they had literally none of the same revenue streams. In the end, the governor kind of leaned in, and the legislative leaders leaned in. They ended up taking motor fuel tax, and on an ongoing basis will now dedicate that to mass transit instead of IDOT road construction. A little bit controversial, but as part of that, to replace that, they agreed to a toll increase on the tollways of 45 cents for regular autos, and then 30 cents for commercial vehicles. So that rate that will be going up. These should take effect, I believe, in July. The governance was largely what it had been in the spring. And so with those two issues off the table, as they go into the spring session, all focus really will be on trying to pass a budget in what is becoming an increasingly difficult environment to do so from an economic standpoint. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
I have a question. So Matt, this is Judy. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So with the increase in the tolls, now there are not tolls everywhere in the state of Illinois, mostly up here in the northern
Right.
region. So those dollars, they go to the tollway authority, right?
That's correct.
And so
That's
how
right.
does it then reimburse the MFT funds that were taken from mass transit? How does that work?
Well, I probably didn't phrase that all that carefully. It doesn't replace those per se. Really, that was a way to satisfy labor in the local 150, who, they do the work on the roads. So they want that money dedicated to the road fund and going through IDOT and the regular road program. So they had been resistant to that money shifting from going to IDOT and highway money to going to transit money. So they tied them together, but really it was sort of a separate transaction to where 150 said, well, we'll stand down and let you do that. Take that money from the state fund and put it into transit. But we want more money going into tolls for construction in the tollway area as a trade-off for this money that our industry will lose by you taking this from highway construction to transit money.
Okay.
All right, thank you. If anyone else has any additional questions or would like more details on a specific bill, please email, I would say Chief of Staff, but he's out for the week. So you can send me an email. I will compile all of those questions into a list and send it to the lobbyists so they can provide written responses. In the interest of time, I'd like to please make it quick. Thank you so much.
I'd like to just ask the lobbyist if they could provide to the board. This veto session was crazy. Every time you turn around, you heard something new.
Yeah.
It was all over the news wires. Could you provide us with a list of the bills that were passed during veto session? Include or perhaps summarize which one of these bills or what bills were resulted in tax increases and what those tax increases are. We've got budget talks going on right now, so that's of particular interest. Also, I'd like to know if any of these bills included any unfunded mandates that are going to hit us here at the county. Is that possible, Matt?
Of course, it's possible.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
we could do our best to do that. We're certainly going to put together a veto session summary report that'll contain much of what you're talking about there. Certainly a summary of the legislation that passed. So we were happy to get all that to you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. All right, we'll
Take
be
care.
talking to you soon. Take care.
Real good. Bye-bye.
Bye. 6 minutes. All right.
Thank you. Julie, I wanted to follow up on what you said. So NIPIC is a group that we follow with legislation. It's the counties or the regions and the health departments. They're all health departments. They produce a report that says what was discussed in the veto sessions and what made it through or not. And I'd be happy to send that to you if you'd like it. It's from the health
Send
department.
it to our operations
Okay.
manager and she could distribute it to all.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. Okay.
So if you want to just introduce yourself,
Oh, my name is Dr. Kathleen Burke. I'm from the Will County Health Department.
like we don't already know. Okay, so the health department definitely understood the assignment. They provided us their language and the supports and opposed language that we love to see. They have submitted a very comprehensive list of state legislative priorities focused on strengthening public health infrastructure, behavioral health access, and community wellness. Each item is presented in the appropriate support format, aligning closely with the intent of our and the structure of our legislative agenda. So I would be completely fine, and I recommend that we adopt this language in full. Does anyone have any questions for Ms. Bellotta? Director Bellotta, sorry. Doctor.
No, Burke.
I'm sorry. My gosh.
I
It's
am
been a
not
long
visiting.
day. It's been a long day. I'm so sorry.
This is for the health department?
Yes.
So I did have a question, Kathleen, on here. Let me find where that one is. Shoot.
Did I already have this?
Okay, so the section where we talk about to require the health department shall create a professional development course that addresses racial disparities in maternal health treatment and the impact of racial disparities on non-Hispanic, Black, and American Indian women, can you explain why we're saying that? You have that?
No, it's not in the final.
That's what I have here. Can I give that to you?
Yeah, can you point that out?
It's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I got it. Okay, Judy, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was looking in the back. So this has been proposed through our Family Health Services, as you can see, because it's really focused on women, and it's focused on women based on the disparities they have in their health based on the population. So that's what that's about. That's a simple. Well, I can just quote off the top of my head that Black women have more fetal distress and more miscarriages, and they don't have good natal outcomes. That's the whole statewide, and we're just as bad. So their outcomes are not good. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, so you're saying a course that you can share with those women who are pregnant. I get you.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we want to educate, right? Prevention. Yeah. that's-
Okay,
Thank
I
you.
understand now. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
I read this as professional course. That wouldn't be for the patient.
Oh, you have a
It
question.
says- Yeah, my question is, it says a professional development course. That's not for the patient.
Well, it is in the long run. It is in the long run, because if I train Kathleen to do something, then Kathleen can go out and talk to all these women here with saying the right things, talking about the right things, according to one standard versus a lot of different things. So that's why.
Right. Does that make sense, Julie?
Yeah, it's fine. I just wanted to understand what, I can see where that would lead to that.
Right.
My concern with that is, will that be something that, they're gonna pass an additional cost on to us from the state? I certainly would advocate that we don't pay any more, unfunded mandates to the state.
Well, hopefully they will have a grant attached to it, and that will be part of because it's a short-term endeavor. So I imagine there will be dollars associated with that.
All right, any other questions?
I do have a comment.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Elizabeth pointed out to me that there was something was missing. It was the 340B drug price program.
Okay.
If we could put that back, and I have some language here for you. So just to read it to everybody. So that federal program requires pharmaceutical manufacturers to sell outpatient drugs at a significant discount to eligible safety providers. The purpose is to help organizations that serve a high percentage of low-income and uninsured patients. It stretched their limited resources to provide more comprehensive services. Eligible entities can purchase drugs at a discount of 20 to 50% off. Savings allow the safety net providers to serve more patients and provide more services. We are a safety net provider, just so you know, the health. The savings generated by the program allows the providers to maintain and expand services. We do that currently now. We work with pharmacies. We've established relationships with Walgreens, Genoa's Pharmacy, local Kodo Care, Joliet Professional Pharmacies, and CVS, where they do that for our clients.
And you're asking that we include that in the state
Please.
legislative agenda, or do you
The
think that would
state.
fit? Okay,
Yeah, the state.
all right. Informal motion, informal second. So then I would recommend that we, by the raise of hands, support all of this language be included in full in our state legislative agenda. All right, any opposed?
Kathleen, you'll have to provide that wording.
To staff, and then we'll distribute that, so everybody has the, yeah, go ahead, Member Bullock.
Kathleen, the last one, I'm not against it. I'm looking at the language that's in it. Fall veto session is over.
Mm-hmm.
So did this bill move on?
Which one are you talking about?
The very last one in the packet.
It's HB
Oh.
2371, to move out of committee and special session of the falls. That has not moved out of committee yet. So we want it to move forward. We want this bill to move forward. That's what we're asking.
Okay, then,
It didn't make the fall veto session, so it's out of date. So we need to rephrase that.
yeah, okay. Yeah, we can-
And actually, I think what Elizabeth was saying is the 340B is actually what should replace what that was. That's what was missing, is
Oh.
swap it and put it, yeah,
Also.
Okay, so we're taking out the last paragraph and.
and putting this one in.
Okay,
Yes, that explains it better about what we're
we need to
asking
make a
for.
motion?
No, there's no motion.
Okay.
No, because it's informal. So if everyone is okay, we'll distribute that out so everybody has the language. We'll just make note, right? Staff is making note that we are going to be swapping that last paragraph for what was just read. And if everyone is okay with that, by the show of hands, to include all of this into the agenda. Any opposed? All right, unanimous support. Thank you. You guys are flying today. Oh my gosh.
Every now and then miracles happen, right?
You know, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Now, we already did land use. We're gonna kind of jump around. Let's do mental health. So, do you want to put that one up on the screen? Let's go health department, land use, mental health, yeah. Okay. So the mental health board proposed additions. It's not in the support opposed language that we would usually like to be, so I kind of did it for them. So I'll read that off to you guys right now. It's basically the same thing, it's just in the support format. So the mental health board supports increased state funding and resources for services addressing mental illness, substance use disorders, and intellectual and developmental disabilities, including both individual and family support programs. And I'll give you guys a copy of this so you can read it. They support legislative efforts to expand early childhood mental health research and services, particularly those serving birth to 5 children and their families, to strengthen prevention and intervention outcomes. They support the development and implementation of statewide standards and trainings for mental health practitioners and hospital staff related to the Beacon program, ensuring that children and youth in need of services are connected to appropriate care. Support legislation that would remove the prohibition of emergency responder participation in the involuntary commitment process, allowing law enforcement to safely transport individuals in crisis to appropriate facilities when necessary. Supports the creation of clear guidelines and ethical safeguards and around the use of AI in clinical and therapeutic settings, protecting both patient safety and provider sustainability. Supports statewide student mental health screening initiatives to identify youth in need of mental health services early and connect them to local supports. So these recommendations, I believe, strengthen prevention and access to services across the lifespan from early childhood throughout adulthood, and they ensure that our systems are prepared, trained, and equipped to respond to mental health needs with compassion and efficiency. If you have any questions, like regarding expertise, I would just recommend that we maybe postpone voting on that specific section because I'm not an expert. I didn't put these proposals, the entire thing, or is it just like a specific? Okay. Okay.
Nothing. So the last support that you read, can you do that for me again? Supports this screening one?
Yes, so it's like the last bullet point that's on their draft. It's supports.
Is that all it says?
It's basically, yeah, statewide student mental health.
Okay, student. Okay, I didn't catch the word student still being in there. It needs to still be in there.
Yeah, it's in
Because
there.
that's implying it's gonna happen in schools.
Yeah,
Okay.
statewide student mental health screening initiatives to identify youth in need of mental health services in early. Blah, 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 blah.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
fine, Yes.
So I'm good with everything except that last one. I have questions as to what they're wanting to do here.
Okay.
Since they just passed that, what are we doing more?
Okay.
What are they requesting?
Yeah.
That's my only question with that.
Okay.
Is that's already passed into law?
It's.
Wait, she might know.
Did you want to respond?
Put it on.
Yes. I don't know to what degree it is at all levels, though. It is much more out there, middle school, high school. There are specific screenings that middle school students and high school students do. I don't know that there is anything that is like third,
Primary
fourth,
grade.
fifth grade primary situation. Yeah.
Well, maybe that's what they're referring to. So
Yeah, if it's.
if we can just wait on that one,
Yeah.
for me, I'm good with that.
Can I request from staff that we reach out to somebody, whoever put this forward from the Community Mental Health Board, and and ask them to be present at our next meeting to answer any questions. Please, thank you so much. Somebody had their light
Wait.
on? Go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna hold my comments since we were postponing it, but since everybody shared theirs, I'm gonna share my comment.
Okay.
I have two. The bottom sentence, further support, what does that mean? So I want to hear them. What further support, does that mean expand? Does it mean? But my real concern, is the bullet point above it.
Okay.
I'm very uncomfortable with that word involuntary commitment. And here's the reason why. I need to understand what is their thought process between that ask and look at that language very, very, very carefully. And the reason why is because involuntary commitment could be a dangerous thing. I have a family member who was, placed in a mental health unit against their will.
Mhm.
So this is not something that I want. I don't even know that the county should even be involved when it comes to something like that, because there's two sides to every story. And I can tell you, there are people, innocent people who were, in the fact that I had that happen in my own family. It was a mess, and it caused a lot of, mental destruction for that individual. So I don't like this at all.
Dr.
Really.
Burke?
So I just want to clarify. So there are situations where someone has a mental illness and their ability to make a decision for treatment is not always clear. And in fact, I have a personal experience too. My best friend's son is a paranoid schizophrenic.
Mhm.
He's hurt a lot of people, his mother included. When she has tried to commit him, they won't do it because he's an adult. So I assure you that there are already legal ramifications around this of not being able to just take someone and commit them. But I do think we need to add a situation where, even though it's an adult, that there is things going on where they cannot be left in the community for their own safety and for the safety of individuals.
Yeah.
My
Oh.
question, perhaps maybe Kevin, is this typical for county government to put their feet in the water of this type of a situation? And it can go right, it can go wrong. And that's my concern. I don't want the county to make a statement that in the end, there could be any sort of responsibility because we put out a policy or we put out an ask. So as our state's attorney, is there anything to be concerned of here?
Well, no, there's no potential liability for you supporting a policy position.
Mhm.
No one could sue you over saying that you wanted the law to be changed. Under current state law, the state's attorney's office already is involved in involuntary committals. We have an attorney who's assigned to handle all of the mental health cases that come in from hospitals and first responders now. So we're already in there. I don't know specifically what they're looking to do with removing this prohibition. Obviously, first responders, as you indicated, have some authority already. So I'd have to see what the specific ask is to tell you what would be the effect of this. But we already have we're fully in the water because state law requires us to represent the interests of the state with regard to these involuntary petitions and med petitions.
There's cases to see that necessary.
I'm gonna go to.
I'm not sure,
I'm gonna
'cause-
go to Member Hickey first and then come back to you, okay?
I'm going to have to agree with Member Berkowitz as far as.
Could you put your mic down just a little bit?
Sorry.
Thank you.
I'm going to have to agree with Member Berkowitz, and I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to say your name, but anyway, I have concerns because there's nothing that shows corresponding level of education that needs to be, and certification that needs to be held by emergency responders, nor does it say specifically which emergency responders. So yeah, I think that it seems kind of ripe for abuse in my estimation.
Thank you for that.
You might think about the crisis care teams, because I think this is really what that's talking about. So,
Sure,
but
and
again,
yeah,
I didn't put this in there, so it's best to have Tina come in.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I feel that like there are individuals specifically with autism who the parent is managing fine and a first responder comes upon them and uses force in order
So
to
they
do
should all be
things. So,
trained.
yeah, I concerned about that situation.
I
So,
totally get it.
thank you.
Okay, so my recommendation would be that we exclude those 2 points, the one with the emergency responder participation, the involuntary commitment process, and also the last one, the student mental health screening initiatives, and we go ahead and adopt the other language if nobody has any objections to that. Member Berkowitz?
Destiny, so I just, it says further, the board is working hard to closely monitor legislation in these areas. I mean, this is basically making a statement about the board and I don't know that.
That's not the
whoever wrote
language,
that-
that's not the language I'm proposing that we adopt.
Well, it's in there though. Are you proposing we take that out too? Why don't we just postpone the whole thing?
Which bullet point is that?
It's not, it's the
Yeah,
statement
so that
above.
language is not, so I read it off in the beginning, I'll read it off again. It's,
No, you don't have to. My concern is with that one sentence,
That's-
further the,
that's not gonna be included though.
okay, great.
Yeah, that's not included. It's just, I completely, that is not gonna be included. I kind of reworded it so that it's like in a support kind of format. So the ones we would be considering today, we're not gonna be considering the involuntary commitment one or the one for the student mental health screenings. It would just be for supporting increased state funding for resources and services addressing mental illness, substance use disorders, intellectual disabilities. Another one supports legislative efforts to expand early childhood mental health research, supports development and implementation of statewide standards training for the Beacon program.
Yeah, that's not even up there
It is.
on the screen.
No, yeah, no, so what I'm saying is I took that and I reworded it so that it's gonna fit like how we have the rest of the stuff in our federal legislative agenda, because usually it says like supports this, supports that. So I reworded it basically.
Okay.
But I hear your concerns. I don't think that we should consider the 2 bullet points that are the involuntary commitment. We're gonna save that for when Tina Mackey is here to answer questions, and also for the mental health screening initiatives. Good? Okay, if everyone is okay with,
Are you gonna provide us with what
yes,
you read
yes.
then?
Yes, I have, and I'll
Thank
ask.
you.
Can you make a copy of this? Just that page. Yes. Actually, just make a copy of the whole thing. If everyone is okay with adopting that language, that you got that, Jackie, which language we're adopting and which ones we're saving? Okay. Raise your hand. Any opposed? Can't see your hand. Okay, unanimous. Okay, thank you. And then we'll get those copies to you so you could read it. All right, moving on. I know Tim just stepped out, but the next ones are fairly short. I mean, fairly short. I just want to say again, I'm really proud of you guys. Okay, so the next one we have is the county clerk proposed addition. Thank you. Thank you, Jackie. So I'll give you guys a minute to pull that up. County clerk proposed additions. All right, thank you. It's coming up on the screen. Again, fairly short. So this is like a pretty, it's a paragraph, but it basically just says one thing. So I wrote it again in like the support. I just kind of reworded it to say support. So it's going to read, and we'll get you the copies right now so you can read it. Supports a comprehensive review and modernization of Illinois election laws to ensure alignment with emerging technologies and practical application in the field. And then there's just a little bit more background info as technology innovations such as cybersecurity advancements, remote voting systems, and digital registration workflows continue to evolve. It's essential that Illinois statutes remain clear and consistent and future focused. A thorough legislative review will help safeguard democracy, strengthen election integrity, and ensure that election laws are both technologically current and operationally effective for election authorities and voters alike. So he's going to get you a copy of that so you could just read it, but that's basically what it's like. One support line, a little bit of background information to be included in the state legislative agenda. Again, I don't have like the expertise. I didn't put this forward myself. County clerk office did. I don't see them here today. If anyone has any questions, no objections. All right. Do you have? He's passing it out to you. Okay. It's okay. It supports a comprehensive review and modernization of Illinois election laws to ensure alignment with emerging technologies and practical application in the field. Yes. Thank you. Member Hickey, did you have a question? Comment?
I'm just trying to double check here.
I didn't put page numbers on these. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm just looking to see,
The
they
second,
do not always consider that part is not in here, is it? I didn't see it.
Did you hear her read?
which part?
I'm a visual learner.
Yes. So am I.
These
So am
are
I.
extras. This is the support.
Right, no, but there's a specific line in here that I want to make sure is not in here.
I know.
It appears, we're good.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Seeing no other lights on, all those who would be in favor of adopting the proposed language in full, raise your hand. Any of those opposed? All right, unanimous. Thank you very much. On to our last, almost last, but last from the department heads section. Workforce services. Thank you very much, Tim. Okay, so again, this language, it wasn't really presented in the support or oppose format that we like it to be. This is the last page on the handout that you were just given. So at the top, workforce services proposed additions. I would recommend that we adopt the language that says supports continued federal investment in the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, the WIOA, and associated U.S. Department of Labor programs, including the Workforce Training Support Program to enhance workforce training and job placement efforts, and the Apprenticeship Expansion Competitive Grant to expand access to registered apprenticeships and pre-apprenticeship opportunities nationwide. These programs are critical to sustaining local workforce development efforts and ensuring equitable access to employment pathways for residents. Actually, though, I think this would better fit in the federal legislative agenda because these are federal programs. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. These are my personal notes.
So let's just move it there, huh?
So that would be my recommendation, that we adopt it in full, but into our federal legislative agenda.
Yep.
Everybody seems to be, Dan, did you have oh, you're just raising your hand?
Supporting your motion.
Okay, so if everyone is good with that, please raise your hand by a show of hands. All right, any opposed? All right, unanimous. We'll adopt that language in full into our federal legislative agenda, not state, no.
Right.
Oh my gosh, guys.
We're done, right?
Well, your
Maybe.
chair has brought forward plenty of proposed additions, but I personally am not prepared to go over them today. I really didn't think that we were going to be done.
Sorry.
Yes, so
Moment.
yes, go ahead.
So in the agenda.
Yes.
If I click state agenda.
State agenda, yes.
Right.
Proposed additions, the first one or the second one?
Yes, no, the first one. And so there's a lot that's still red. Does that mean we didn't do this or did we do this?
We just did it right now. So you're talking about the first one or the second one? The first one?
Screen, where are you hitting? The second one.
The second one? So those are all of the proposed additions that I put forward, I'm pretty sure.
Right, but I'm saying, have we done all of them?
We haven't gone through any of them yet.
No.
We
At the
just
state
started the state
Okay,
legislative
can I
agenda
make a
today.
Suggestion.
Suggestions are welcome.
Can we take, because I know there's stuff in here that would fit also in the state.
Okay.
So can we just do a kind of not now, and I don't even mean me. Um, And just looking at, because like I'm looking at, like what we have here, this affordable housing thing, Will County supports, like this is in here in our state agenda. So like, we may be able to do a little cut and paste of, this is in the federal, we have this going on in the, so it's already done, a cut paste situation because we agreed to it here, being federal. I mean, I know we might need to look it over again, but if it's already here in that written, why can't we do a little swapping out and take this thing that we're looking at with all the red in it? And yeah, if it's been approved in here, we throw it in here as approved because
Call it a day.
what it said. And then anything that isn't supported through this remains red, and that's what we look at.
Yeah, so if you would like to bring those forward, yeah, that'd be great make those recommendations.
I recommend. No? No?
Postpone that until next meeting, we'll start that.
Why don't you highlight the
I'm with you
areas?
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do a little bit of homework.
Why don't I do, yeah. This is why people make no suggestions.
I know. That's why I made like 30. Okay, where are we? What are we doing? Yeah, we're pretty much open. All right, I was gonna suggest we do a special meeting, but we went through that so fast, like I don't think that we need a special meeting. Does the committee think we need a special meeting? We've only pretty much have to go through any recommendations that board members have put forward. No? Everybody's like, no. All right, so we'll bypass that then. No other old business, no new business. Does anyone else have new business to bring forward? Yes, of course.
WIOA, that was renewed every 10 years. Do you remember? Is that still?
I can't answer that.
It's still in.
It is? Okay. Because we used to go to Washington to lobby for that. And I think it was every 10 years. Okay.
I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
Workforce investment.
Right, workforce investment.
No, I get to do this on mic. Okay. For the new people that you guys always throw us, always go in the new people and you talk in acronyms. You can say it in an acronym once, but then you must spell it out.
Right.
All right, a little fun. All right, no announcements by the chair, no need for executive session. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Butler, second by Berkowitz. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we stand adjourned. Our next meeting is scheduled for December 2nd, 2025. Thank you.